here's day 3 of my Midwest Tour 2021. Today's ride took me from West Allis, Wisconsin, across on the Lake Express high-speed ferry over to Muskegon, Michigan. And the total riding for the day was only about maybe 12 or 13 miles, but I started at a hotel just at I think it's about 10 miles west of where the ferry departs out of central Milwaukee. And the initial part of the ride was uneventful. Traffic was light. It was Monday, but the route I took had minimal traffic and had decent shoulders for most of the way. There was one section that had some construction that had me detour just about a block out of my way to get around it, but otherwise the ride was pleasant.
So it's about 7:30, riding through Milwaukee. So far, this boulevard is pretty wide, so I haven't had any problems. This should take me all the way to where I'm going to meet up with the ferry. So now I'm having a detour through a neighborhood. As it ends up, there's some construction on the boulevard I was riding on, and it was narrowing down precipitously enough that I didn't want to try to navigate. So we'll just go around the block. All right, should be within the city limits of Milwaukee. Yep, here it is. I've gotten through to the point where there's actual bike lanes, so this makes it a lot easier, although most of this road was fairly wide. Room for cars to park on the side of the road, so that's where I could ride without any issue. So hopefully from here, got about 4 miles to the ferry, and I expect it'll be smooth sailing. It's threatening rain. We had pretty decent thunderstorms last night, kept me awake. But we'll see. Got my raincoat on, but not really sure if I'm going to need it.
It was here at the Basilica of St. Josaphat when I stopped to take this photograph. It just started to rain, just the first few drops. And I was just a few miles outside of the coffee shop that I found on the map that I intended to stop.
It's just starting to drizzle a little bit, but I'm only about 2 miles from the boat.
You can see the blue dot there. That's the coffee shop where I took shelter, actually. I not only stopped to get coffee, but I'd stopped to take shelter because a pretty severe lightning and thunderstorm passed overhead.
So I'm stopped for coffee. Got a little bit of rain this morning already, but it's getting darker. So it's looking like we're going to probably get a little bit more. Only about a mile to the ferry destination, but I think I'll camp out here. At least finish my coffee. Storm just passed, or at least passed enough, just about to the ferry.
And then once I got to the high-speed ferry, I thought the website said that the lobby would be open, but it wasn't. So I sat outside for a little bit. Fortunately, the rain had stopped at that point, although I did have rain gear, so it wouldn't have been a big issue if it was raining still. But after a little bit, the guy working security inside the building allowed me to come inside, where I did a little bit of work while I was waiting for the ferry. These photos are my bike parked, so if you haven't done any kind of ferry crossing such as this, the process was pretty easy. They just had me ride on, parked. They told me where to park it against the wall. They gave me a strap, had me strap the bike. You can see the strap, that red strap around the main part of the frame. Just had me strap it to the wall, and then it was just a few hours. I think it was about 2.5 hour ride across the lake. And although the weather had been pretty severe earlier in the day, the conditions on the lake were not bad at all.
Rolling out of the ferry.
So like I said, day 3 was a pretty short ride. Total miles showed 11.36. Elevation gain was minimal. Average speed was 10.5, although there were a lot of stops between having to ride on the ferry and the time I spent waiting out that thunderstorm. The temperature never went above 60, a little bit over 66 degrees, so it was a nice day other than the rain. But coming from a place where it rains very seldom, I should say, seeing rainstorms, even severe rainstorms, are just kind of refreshing.